Well, if they do a deal like that, it will most likely, because we'll be dealing with the European Union instead of dealing with the UK. So it will probably kill the deal with, if they do that, their trade deal with the US will probably not be made.
Mm. What did you mean by
because we have enough difficulty with the European Union. You know, we're cracking down right now on the European Union because they have not treated the United States fairly on trade. Mm. No, if they do that, I would say that would probably end a major trade relationship with the United States. I would have done it much differently. I actually told Theresa May how to do it, but she didn't agree with it. She didn't listen to me.
What did you say?
She didn't listen. No, I told her how to do it. That will be up to her to say. But I told her how to do it. She wanted to go a different route.
Mm. So you would be prepared to walk away if they didn't give you the right terms?
Oh, absolutely. I think what's going on is very unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's too long. You know, deals that take too long are never good ones.
Mm. What did you mean by the UK
when a
being
deal
turmoil?
takes so long, it's somehow, they never work out very well. I did give Theresa, who I like, I did give her my views on what she should do and how she should negotiate. And she didn't follow those views. I would actually say she probably went the opposite way. If you really look, she probably went the opposite way. And that's fine, you know, she should negotiate the best way she knows how. But it's too bad what's going on. Well, I think the deal that she's striking is not what the people voted on. It's a much different deal than the people voted on. It was not the deal that was in the referendum. You know, I've just been hearing this over the last 3 days. I guess you've been just hearing about it over the last 3 days. I know they have a lot of resignations, so a lot of people don't like it. No, but it'll definitely affect trade with the United States, unfortunately in a negative way. Let me tell you, he's a very talented guy. I was very saddened to see that he was leaving government, and I hope he goes back in at some point, because I think he's a great representative for your country. I was very surprised and saddened that he was getting out of government. And you lost some other very good people. Well, I'm not pitting one against the other. I'm just saying I think he'd be a great prime minister. Yeah, I think he's got what it takes, and I think he's got the right attitude to be a great prime minister.
On Britain's defence spending, Jim Mattis wrote to his counterpart in the UK to say it's no longer good enough for the UK to be spending just 2%. You're our major ally. You need to considerably increase it above 2%. Do you agree with that?
Oh, I agree with that 100%. No, 2% is not enough. 2%, and some countries don't pay that.
No.
And yet the United States pays 4.2%, is the actual number, not 3.5%. It's 4.2% of a much larger GDP. In fact, the GDP since I've taken over has doubled and tripled. So it's very, you know, it's a very unfair number. No, I think I'm very impressed that he sent that letter. I think that's an exact right letter. I think all the countries in Europe should pay 4%, not 2%. And many of them, like Germany, is only paying 1.1%. And so we protect Germany, and they're only paying 1%, 1.1%. It's, you know, it's very unfair. My father Germany, my mother Scotland. So I have great love for countries in Europe. I think what's happened to Europe is a shame. I think the immigration, allowing the immigration to take place in Europe is a shame. I think it changed the fabric of Europe. And unless you act very quickly, it's never going to be what it was. And I don't mean that in a positive way. So I think allowing millions and millions of people to come in to Europe is very, very sad. I think you're losing your culture.
First meeting with the Queen, are you nervous? She's a huge, even larger than you in terms of a global superstar.
She is a tremendous woman.
Yeah.
I really look forward to meeting her. I think she represents her country so well. If you think of it, for so many years she's represented her country. She's really never made a mistake. You don't see, like anything embarrassing. You don't. She's just an incredible woman. My wife is a tremendous fan of hers. She's got a great and beautiful grace about her. No, I look forward. My mother loved the Queen.
Yes.
My mother coming from Scotland, and she'd come back every year religiously, go to Scotland. My mother loved the Queen. She thought the Queen was tremendous. Anytime the Queen was on television, my mother wanted to watch it. You have a mayor who's done a terrible job in London. He's done a terrible job.
Why?
And
If you don't mind me
take a
asking.
look at the terrorism that's taking place. Look at what's going on in London. I think he's done a terrible job. But I think that all of this immigration has really changed the fabric of Europe. Now, I speak as an outsider when I say that, but I speak as somebody who loves Europe. And I think it's too bad. I think he's done a very bad job on terrorism. I think he's done a bad job on crime, if you look. You take a look at your hospital in London, you know what I'm talking about, with all of the horrible things going on there, with all of the crime that's being brought in. And I think he's not been hospitable to a government that's a very important government. Now, he might not like the current president, but again, it's, for me, I represent the United States. But I also represent a lot of people in Europe, because a lot of people from Europe are in the United States.
Some say that the way you're approaching NATO, demanding people pay more, the Germans pay more, etc., is bullying. That's the word they use.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've had 40 years of presidents that have said the same thing in a nicer way, and they got nothing. So, I mean, call it what you want. They're taking advantage of the United States. The United States is protecting the, countries, most of which are the EU, and frankly, if you look at it, we get a double barrel hit. We get hit on trade, where they treat us badly. They have barriers against us trading, and strong barriers, and tariffs. And we get hit on NATO. So we have a double whammy. We have a double hit. No, it's not. The United States, many presidents have come here and said, this is not fair, and then they go home and go to sleep. I'm not going to let it happen. To make me feel unwelcome, no reason for me to go to London. I used to love London as a city. I haven't been there in a long time. I think your mayor has done a terrible job. But when they make you feel unwelcome, why would I stay there? Now, and when I say that, I'm talking about government, because the people of the UK agree with me. Because you don't hear the word England as much as you should. I miss the name England. You understand that? I miss the name England. I think England is a beautiful name, and you don't hear it very much anymore. But they're playing as England. That's very interesting. Good.